All right. Wait for that to go off. And welcome to Wide Open Wednesday. We are wide open. Don Allen, I hope you are looking at the screen because you are now famous. I knew I had one. So there you are. The crash test dummy, and he's even got your name on his driving suit. Don Allen has been our crash test dummy since we started this mess. And the crash test dummy is you, Don. Welcome. You are now official. And Michael Cesare.
Yeah.
That's one of your boys?
Yep.
Okay. Well, there you have it.
Mhm.
Thank you, Mike. Hi, everybody. Says Mike. Hi to you, Mike. What's going on, Donald? You know, they get one practice in, they get a couple races in, and then the weather goes to shit. I don't get it.
They got a couple races in? I thought the weather just went to shit.
No, they got a couple sprint car races in.
Wow.
In God's country. Yeah. He even looks like you. Okay, Don. You need me to put a pair of shades on him, I will. Yeah, we got an interesting show tonight. It's going to be pretty cool. The puppy, Fred's still training the puppy.
My wife's got the puppy tonight. She's taking her somewhere to go show her off over there, but I'll get her. I'll get her here. She's a little too spazzy yet because she's a puppy.
Mike Feltenberger, greetings to you, my friend. Matt Roser, of course, as always. Matt is always in here with us. Yeah, I just it's crazy that the weather. We were wearing t-shirts and going through the shorts in the viewer and happy, yeah, and going through. And next thing you know, Mother Nature decides to get on her broom and start riding around again as usual. And lo and behold, now we have problems. So, but no, I mean, Wall Stadium's doing a lot of renovations. We have no Earl tonight because Earl is on vacation unless he decides to call in remotely. He is on vacation, and then when he comes back, you're going to do another episode of the Time Capsule.
Time Capsule. We're going to set that up as soon as Earl gets back, and we're going to finish up our East Windsor Speedway series, and then jump into probably Flemington. I think would be the next one.
Yes, because I think when we do the Flemington, there's so many guys that were prominent at Flemington, Larry Klein and Stan Plowski and Billy Osmond. And we're going to try and get some of them guys in the studio with us. I thought about bringing Larry in for the East Windsor stuff, but Larry was more prominent, even though he won some races at Windsor. He was more prominent at Flemington, and so we'll probably bring him and Stan, and probably we'll have all the Plowski family here, and of course Mark Yapel. Who's friends with Larry Klein and Kenny Bruce. Are you back off vacation? Kenny was on vacation. He was down in Florida with Dirt Track Digest.
Yeah, so some of that stuff. It was good stuff.
Yeah, it was good stuff. We'll get Kenny on here because rumor has it that Wall Stadium's trying to get some Dirt Track Digest stuff going on. So that'd be interesting to talk to Kenny about that.
It'll be just called Track Digest.
And the Speedway Pagoda has racing this weekend. So, Mike, the link is the same. So after we get done with a couple of our guests, you're more than welcome to clock in, Mike, and we'll talk to you about some things. But yes, tonight we got an interesting show. We got the master of going faster at Grandview. I mean, he's won everything you can win there. and I think he just set himself up to be a contender by hooking up with a ride with Danny Heber, Keith Hoffman, and I forgot the other guy's name, and that's my stupidity. If somebody can help me out with the other partner, there's 3 partners in the number 6 car, and when Jeff comes on here, he'll tell me all about that. Um, and yeah, he just set himself up to be a contender for the championship right out of the gate. So, I mean, you have him, Jeff Strunk, you have Dwayne Howard, you have Craig Von Dorn, and there's Mike Goulart. You have a couple other guys that run there, but the big 3 is always there. And with Jeff getting this ride, uh, it sets him up to be right in contention to win another championship. Yep. And Don Allen says Steve Runk, and that's what Danny Serrano used to say all the time. He never said Strunk. I don't think I ever heard Danny say Strunk. He always said Steve Runk. And but yeah, we have him. We have Chris Buskus coming on. He's down south. He works for Penske, but he helps Will Dupree when he comes up here up north to see us. He's friends with Kyle Belmont. I promised Chris a while ago that I'd have him on here. He's an engine tuner for Penske. He does a lot of different things for Penske. He's going to come in here and we're going to talk about how he started in local dirt racing and wound up working for Penske. He went to college, graduated college, put a resume in, and wound up hitting the big time, and he's working for Penske. Of course, Kyle Belmont is also down south, and he is working in NASCAR along with his brother Andrew now, who works in NASCAR. So, and Fred's making his plans to go south too. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, big things happening. Hello, Bear. How are you? And big things happening in racing now that the weather's starting to get better. Like I said earlier, middle of April, March is a tough month to go racing. The weather never cooperates, and 50, 60-mile-an-hour winds knocking trees down. We already had our internet go out tonight, so keep your fingers crossed.
Yeah, there's some trees down the road. And the whole thing
Yes.
by Stars Orchards over here in Langwood
Yep.
was wiped out.
So, and I'm gonna have to bust Jeff Stones a little bit. He's a master of tuning cars. He's a master of driving race cars, but he ain't worth a shit when it comes to getting on the internet. If it wasn't for his girlfriend, we probably wouldn't have Strunk on the internet on here tonight with us. So I'm really going to get into that with him. How can you be such a master of all that other stuff? And the phone's real easy, but he hooked him up. He will be on here with us. He's on his way home from work, so he'll be with us a little later. So yeah, but yeah, good news at Wall. I mean, they're doing a lot of upgrades down there. So yeah, it's going to be pretty interesting at Wall. Bridgeport got their practice in. Everybody right away. Oh, it was Dusty. Come on, guys.
It's your first day and you're already bitching.
First day of practice, you're already bitching. Chris's brother-in-law bought our last slingshot my kid drove. How about that? So Bear knows Chris, which is cool. And he's got a Daytona 500 ring. Kyle Belmont has one too. I got to wear that. But yeah, I mean,
did you get a boner?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely. I don't get them very often, but I got one when I wore that. But anyhow,
Viagra when you got a Daytona 500 ring.
Yeah, but anyhow, so. But the other thing is, yeah, I mean, I saw that right away, and I'm like, come on, man, you get to go and watch the cars go around the racetrack. The track was good, so it was dusty. So how many times do you think they had a chance to get on the track with the way the weather is? You're lucky they even got on the damn racetrack. And, with the way things are going now, gas is out of control. Diesel is really out of control. And we got to watch ourselves here because, until this thing is over, gas may not go down for a while. Fred, what do you think? I mean, the business that you're in,
it's still not as high as it was a couple of years ago.
Right.
I mean, it's spiking now, and it's already come down a little bit.
And that's the problem. People aren't looking. They're looking at right now. They're in the moment of right now. They're not looking about what we went through prior to this with the other puppet or,
the funny thing is I went past BJ's the other day, Wholesale Club.
Mm-hmm.
The line for the gas was like 1975 all over again. I'm like, you guys are idiots.
Right. I mean, in the business that you're in, Fred, are people complaining when they come into you about the gas and all the other stuff?
Not yet. Some people will come in Probably, I'll give it another week or two. It'll be not getting the same gas mileage I used to get out of my car. Well, no, nothing's changed there, but their gas. So, plus this is also the season where gas gets reformulated, March and April. Now I know this from owning a gas station. I had one. March and April they formulate to the oxygenated fuel, so there's a different kind of refining going on, and so that price goes up just like it does in October and November when it goes back to the other one. They refine it, and it goes back, and it goes up. Then it goes up this time. Any way they can get it to go up, it's going to go up. And I'm not trying to sound like a curmudgeon, but that's just how it goes. I mean, every April and every October, I used to have to plan ahead on how I was going to set my gas up, because I knew the price was going to go. So
I remember back in the day, I had a 64 Impala SS. My buddy had a 64 Impala SS, and we had switches in them to make the gas tank go from full to half because you were only allowed to get so much gas. And my brother said, "We're going to put a switch in there." I said, "Switch for what?"
a lot of thinking.
And he, because they want to look at your gas gauge when you went in the gas station. And I'm like, "What?" My brother goes, "We'll fix that." You had to be half or less in order to get gas. So when you flicked the switch underneath the dash, the gas gauge automatically went down to like a quarter of a tank.
I was riding my bike in between the 77. Yeah, I was only 13. I used to ride my bike in between the cars going,
yeah, pretty crazy, right?
Over on Liberty Street in Trenton.
So, Mike, episode 100 of Racing Photo Memory Makers debuted yesterday.
Happy 100.
Happy 100, Michael. If you haven't had a chance to see Racing Photo Memory Makers, it's on YouTube. Mike Feltenberger, of course, been a photographer forever. You need to check it out. There's a lot of nostalgia stuff there, of course. Yeah. And if you're in the area where Mike's at, he goes to the flea market and sells calendars, sells pictures. Mm-hmm. Fred's got his Jimmy Horton picture.
Jimmy Horton front and center. Next to mine, not front and center, next to mine.
And we got Mr. KB Belmont watching us from down south. And the baby's getting big, Kyle. That's all I'm going to tell you. The baby's getting big, so get ready. You're going to be tuning his race car pretty soon. Danielle Tramontana, as always, one of our lead sponsors here at Wide Open Wednesday. Now, I see through my camera, which you guys can't see, but I see Jeff rumbling around behind the camera. So I don't know if he's ready. So, Lauren, whenever he's ready, sit him down where he needs to be. Now, you just seen Fred messing with a butterfly on a carburetor here.
And Mike Cesare, you're not allowed to answer this because he's got inside information.
Yeah, Mike Cesare, you're not allowed to answer this. So I will block you.
He used to work for my dad. So.
From making comments, Mike. You're not allowed to make comments.
He can. He knows that.
All right, but give other people a chance, all right? This carburetor
came off of Kerry Schloder's car when my dad worked on Kerry's car. And it was lent to us by this legendary, doesn't get any bigger name than this guy, racer. He built this carburetor. He built a bunch of carburetors. My dad he was like my dad's god for carburetors, and my dad was a good carburetor guy as I am now. I'm about the only one. But this was on Kerry Schloder's car. It was lent to us by that guy, that
famous guy.
We're gonna let you know. Famous guy. My dad kept it for sentimental reasons. It was in a box of crap that my dad left me. Not saying this is crap, but I got a box of crap from my dad because every time I go out there, he's like, "Here, take this, take this, take this." So so I dug this out the other day, and if anybody wants to take a stab at who built this carburetor, go ahead. And Kerry always used to like to run fuel injection, but my dad was a carburetor guy. So whenever he got wrenching on the
Wrong, Mike. Wrong. Nice try,
but
no cigar.
but this is close to my dad's heart, and now it's close to my heart.
If you can hear us, put your thumbs up. Jeff, you should be able to. All right, buddy. Good. All right, Jeff is all ready and waiting.
Keep guessing. We'll let you know when we get on the other side of it.
We'll let you know when we get on the other side here. We are going to bring this guy on. Been one of my favorites for years. I begged my brother. When we didn't have a car in competition, I begged my brother John. I said, we need to put a car together and put this guy in one of our cars. I don't know what I'm doing. I'm like, geez, you're lucky it's not my money because we'd already been racing. But we got to put this up here, and we're going to bring this guy in, and we're going to talk to Mr. Strunk here. So, Jeff, how are you, my friend?
I'm doing good, guys. How are you guys?
We're great. and to have you on the show is a plus. I broke out that car that you see there. That's an
Yep.
old but a goodie. I've had that for a long, long time, and I was walking in my man cave, and I said, "Wow, this is pretty crazy. He's gonna be on the show, and this car is sitting right there." So I told Fred, I said, "I'm gonna bring us a surprise." So we brought that and our crash test dummy with us today. But Jeff, I was talking a little bit before you got yourself ready to come on here, and if it wasn't for that lady back there, how can you be so good at everything else and you can't set up yourself to be on an interview like this?
I
Don't,
don't know.
don't,
I'm
don't feel
terrible.
bad, Jeff. I don't know this shit either. That's all on him.
It's old school, I guess, and I don't want to learn, I guess is the best way to say it. It's
That's a good one. Yeah.
Well, let's put it this way.
it's a struggle for me, honestly.
You know a lot more about different shit than we'll ever know, and you make people go fast, so that's a plus. So
I appreciate that.
we look down here at the picture of the 6 car with 60 over behind it, and I was telling people earlier, that sets you up to go to Grandview and be right in contention to win the title, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, it's a good team. There's no junk on that car, and you're going to maintain the car, Jeff.
Yes, we're maintaining the car, and my crew guys that have been with me. Dan actually reminded me last night that I said in an interview earlier that it was 20 years, but it's actually over 30. So,
oh Jesus!
Yeah, I told him I said that just so we didn't show our age, But
right,
no, it's I'm maintaining the car, and it's all brand new, and we got to have a good program. Can't thank Keith Hoffman, Danny Heber, and Todd Bear enough for what they put together here for me. And Bobby Gunther Walsh came on board, supplying us with a motor and super good personality. And, he's been great to work with, and they've all been great to work with. And we got a lot of long days ahead of us, but it's going to be good. Going to be real good.
Did you have anybody wanting to work with you before this deal came up?
Honestly, I've said this probably 100 times in the last 2 months. I've never been so scared in my life of not having a ride and not having something to race. And it's what I've been doing, every weekend from March to November since I'm 9 years old. So to even think about it and have to struggle with them thoughts of possibly, not being in a seat was something I've never really had to worry about before. I mean, there's other years where it might have ran down to, the end of January, beginning of February till I had something, but there was, positive talks up to that point. So not having any really positive talks or feedback up till these guys, I mean, I was definitely worried and a lot of sleepless nights.
Well, Danny Heber's a racer. Keith was a racer. I mean, how many times have you went around Grandview with Keith and Doug and who would have ever thought that you'd be driving a race car for Keith Hoffman? That's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it is kind of crazy, but we've been good friends. I mean, I met Keith and Doug and David in 1988, my rookie season. We parked next to Doug at Big Diamond. So, yeah, I've known him for a long time and always been, good friends and always talked when we saw each other. And, we actually used to go Christmas shopping way back in the day, probably in the early 90s, mid 90s. We used to go Christmas shopping every year and go have a couple drinks and have some fun. But, no, just a great group of people. Todd was also a racer. His son races asphalt modifieds now, Todd Bear. And they all know the ropes. They all know the game. They all know the ups, the downs, the highs, the lows. And I'm very, very fortunate and blessed to have, good people around me. And, this whole deal is a team sport, and I'm not a one-man band, never was. And I got great crew guys and great people surrounding me. So that's a huge plus in this game for your confidence and for your success, and very lucky to have these guys.
When you guys done the unveiling, there was a gentleman there on the microphone, and he said this could be the wave of the future because Keith can't drive because of the business. He's so busy at the business, and he's putting all other kind of people in victory lane, building cars and all that. And then of course Danny Hebner, he's a good friend of mine, and he said, don't get me wrong, I want to drive you guys, but this opportunity to do this with these two other guys is going to be something special. And I, of course, Doug drove for my brother and myself, and to have that number 6 on there and 60 over behind it, that's pretty cool. And like I said earlier, and I'll say it again, I look for big things out of you guys over there at Grandview. Are you going to just stay at Grandview, or are you going to go to other places and do other things, or is that it?
Well, it's we're building. It's a process of work in progress. I mean, we're definitely going to chase after Grammy's title, be there every week, and gonna shoot to try to hit Big Diamond's, special money shows, and we'll see how things are going. I mean, it's kind of a crawl, walk, run deal. We're working, starting from scratch here, and we'll see how it goes. But we'll definitely be at Diamond for some shows. Probably the first 2 weeks, I would guess, for the opener, and then the 10,000 to win Money in the Mountains. And definitely do Grandview, and we'll see how things are going. And just again, I'm just very glad and fortunate to be in a seat. And again, was never so worried in my life that there might not be something out there, and entertained the idea of with sponsor chasing, and did a lot of phone calling and a lot of reaching out, and really wasn't gaining much ground on it and getting anywhere. So to put this deal together, it was kind of late, but that's better late than never. And we got a lot of long days ahead of us, and we'll get it done, and we'll see how it goes. I think we're going to have a good season, a great season, and again, just very thankful.
Now,
the guy that was the MC that was Bobby Gunther Walsh, and
okay,
and he races at Grandview. He's been there for years.
Right.
Got his own radio show, which I probably hadn't listened to a whole bunch over the years, but now I listen to him every morning going to work, and he's a great personality, a great radio host, and has great sponsors, and runs his racing like a business, and truly a good guy. And they're all good guys. I mean, we've hung out, had a couple beers together and stuff like that, and really enjoyed the time spent with them. And we built the car up at Keith, so we got to build a car together and work together, and
that's cool.
It's a good deal. I'm really looking forward to this year.
Now, the guy I work with here, he's making Manhattans as we're talking. So
nothing wrong with that.
And he's got Manhattans, he's got bourbon, he's got moonshine, he's got everything right here.
I'm a multitasker.
So he's a multitasker.
The chaser there, right?
Yeah,
everyone
exactly.
To chase the next one.
So we we've been around racing our whole life. That's our deal. 27 years at New Egypt, and no honeymoon vacations, none of that kind of stuff. But now I asked Danny Buck this question, and I'll ask you the same question. Grandview's not having 525s. Diamond's not having 525s. Is that a good choice or a bad choice?
Honestly, I don't know. I mean, I remember the 420 days at Grandview, and they could be really good and they could be really bad. It's just one of them deals where, it all depends on that given night, how your luck falls. And on them given nights, there was some of them 420 nights that were really, really hard to deal with the day after and the night of. So I don't think it's a bad deal. No, and
okay.
This day and age, it's changed so much since back in the day that, it's quite a bit different. People want to get in there and get out. And that's one thing I'll say about Grandview. They got such a great fan following yet. And for me, it's been, generations. I'm holding grandkids now of people that I met when they were my age. So
yeah.
That being said, it's still got a great fan following where you interact with the fans after the races in the pits, and that's something you don't see at many tracks, if any, anymore, traveling around. And people just want to get out of there and go home, and busy schedules or whatever the world's changed to. That's just part of the trade today, and grateful for that. We still hang out at Grandview and have some beers and interact with the fans, and get close to the fans. And I think that's what our sport needs, is the fans to be able to get closer to the drivers, get to know them, and do stuff like this, which I think is great because they can watch live, they can interact and learn more about me, learn more about you guys, learn more about the racing, and I think that's what the sport needs.
Yeah, it's definitely not like it used to be. I mean, we would go to the races if they were running shopping carts at Walmart. You know what I mean? And Jeff, you've won so many races at Grandview and been in so many different rides, and you have been one of the powerful three there between Craig and Dwayne, and you got other guys there. You got Goulart, and you got so many so much competition there. But like you said, the fans want to come there. They want to be entertained. Sometimes they want to be given stuff to take home with them. A kid wins a bicycle, that's the world to them. And you can't and they want to get out of there in 3 or 4 hours. You can't keep them hostage anymore. You got to give them a good show, get them in and out of there, and that means a lot. I mean, now that New Egypt is kind of undecided what they're going to do, I'm kind of hoping that somebody comes along that came along with Wall, because Wall is definitely on the upswing, and that's going to be one of the places to be. But yeah, I know you liked New Egypt. I know you wanted to run there on a weekly basis, and But the times that you were there, we had a good time together, man. It was fun watching
You've
you get
always
around
been
New
you've
Egypt.
always been great to me, and even back in the day when I was a young pup and I raced against your brother. I mean, you guys were always cordial and very respectful, and couldn't ask for more than that. And you were always welcoming me at New Egypt and always did the interviews and stuff. And grateful to be on your show and to have you as a friend because you do a great job for the sport. You did a great job for New Egypt or anywhere you were involved with, whether it was your brother's team or New Egypt. And there's not a lot of people that have been around us that long that stay that involved like you. And thank you for that. And thanks for your support of me. I appreciate it.
Well, you and I talked before I brought you on here, during the week, and you lost somebody very special to you, and I lost somebody very special to me. And people don't realize how special them people are until you can't pick up the phone and talk to them anymore. My brother was my hero, okay? And I know your brother was your hero too. So when you go to Grandview, you just know that when that gas pedal gets down a little further, that's because your brother's right there with you, man. So
Yep.
just do what you do. And we wish you a lot of luck from Wide Open Wednesday. I'll make sure you get a decal to put on that car.
For sure.
And open door policy, Jeff. You can come on here anytime you want, and I'll make sure I call Lauren first. Now I know how to get a hold of you.
Yeah, you got to do that. Thank God for her because otherwise we would have been having echoes and who knows, maybe bats flying around or something. You never know.
She called me and we got on there. Her and I got on there, and I told her, I said, we're going to bump Jeff and bring you on the show because you're better looking. And she said, no. But within 5 minutes, she had it all hooked up. We were too busy yapping on the phone, and we had all kind of echoes. She goes, maybe we want to shut the phone off. Maybe that's it. I said, that's exactly what it is. And
she's very tech savvy, thank God. The only thing I know about headsets is when I used to spot for Stewie or Gooler or Dale Plank at Syracuse or the big races. So, that's about the only thing I know of how to use a headset for.
All right. One more question, Jeff.
Sure.
Where do you see our racing going? Where do you see it going?
I hope it maintains. I hate seeing what's happening with New Egypt, and there's a lot of good things going on in it, and I don't think you can say there's bad things going on in it. We need to get the kids involved more. We need to get some new fans, and with new fans comes the kids. If we don't get the kids involved, the parents don't come because they're not bringing their kids. So,
right.
When I grew up at Reading. I went to Reading, gospelly as a child. I mean, I was there when I was, I think, 6 weeks old with my parents. So in the stands, and then my grandfather used to pick me up from elementary school, and we'd sit in the backstretch on Friday nights, and then I go with my parents on Sundays, and we always look forward to going to the pits after the races, and we used to stand in line for Kenny's autograph and Chamberlain's autograph and Tobias's autograph, and that's, I think we got to get the kids involved somehow, some way. And I saw them little go-kart races at the late model race the other night, them little battery-powered go-karts that they had, and that was pretty. I haven't seen anything like that, so maybe that's something for these promoters to look into, or I thought about something with maybe trying to get the tech schools involved, to get the teenagers, the high school kids more involved, but never really had time to do that. But I really definitely think we got to get the kids interested and get the kids more involved, because I think with that, the parents will come, they'll bring their kids, and it'll be a good night out of entertainment for them.
Yep. Well, Jeff, we really appreciate you coming on the show. Give Lauren a hug for us, because we appreciate what she did to get you on here. And open door policy. You need to announce something. You need something announced for the team or whatever. And we're probably going to get Danny on here and get Keith on here sometime down the road here before the season starts. But good luck, man. Do what you do, and I'll be rooting for you.
Thanks so much, guys. I appreciate it.
No problem, Jeff. Thank you very much, bud.
Have a good night.
All right, you too, bud. Jeff Strunk.
what can you say?
What can you say about him? You know what I mean? He's done it all. He's won the big races. He's traveled around. He's helped other people. I've seen him, like he said, with a headset on, doing other things for other people. We're going to take a break real quick, and then we're going to come back with our second guest, and we'll talk to him.
Keep your guesses going.
Keep the guesses going. The carburetor right here. Whose carburetor was that? Now, give this story real quick, and then we'll do our commercials. Story about the carburetor. And
well, I already gave you the story about the carburetor.
Well, there's probably other people in here now.
The carburetor was this carburetor was built by the biggest name in the history of dirt racing, and probably every racing. But this was one of my dad's prized possessions. And take a guess on who built this carburetor. And then when we get it all set, then we'll tell some stories about some other carburetor work that we've done over the years.
I built
So-
it. Okay. I'm sorry, guys. I did it when I was 10.
That's why it's here.
That's why it's. All right. We're going to take a break. We're going to take a pause for the calls, and then we're going to bring our next guest on.
Let's talk about transmissions for a minute. If you want to get to victory lane, you can't be in low gear. You got to be in high gear. I'm talking about high gear transmissions located in South Jersey. That's right. We specialize in repair, refresh, and troubleshooting your Northeast Dirt modified transmissions. That's right, high gear. They specialize in Burt Generation 1 and 2 transmissions, and they also service Winters transmissions. It's home of the modified number 13P, driven by Anthony Tramontana Jr. They have reasonable pricing, quick turnaround. You can pick your transmission up at New Egypt Speedway or Bridgeport Speedway, and you can find them on Facebook at High Gear Transmissions. Now, these transmissions are serviced by a great tech, Anthony Tramontana Sr. You can give him a call at 609-385-3084. That's right, High Gear Transmissions. You know, the ending season, and you're worried about that transmission, you're worried about it getting serviced, why not call High Gear and get it done? They'll take care of your transmission. You won't have to worry about it. When you put it back in the car, you'll put it in gear, you'll go to victory lane, you'll be in high gear, and you'll be a winner with high gear. Let's talk about trans. Bob Drayton Incorporated has been locally owned and operated since 1955. Their goal is to provide excellent customer service and quality rentals to every client. They have a large selection of rentals and solutions for every project or every event you have. You can count on their experienced team for fast and courteous service each time you call them. And they have a 24-hour emergency service, locally owned and operated since 1955. That's over 70 years, gang. Licensed and insured, free estimates available, 24-hour service, military and senior discounts, quality products, and an excellent customer service. Check them out, gang. They're located at 151 Big Hill Road, Southampton, New Jersey. Their phone number is 609-859-3629. And they race, that's right, New Egypt Speedway, Bridgeport Speedway. Bob and his son race the 4-cylinder class, and they sponsor the class at New Egypt Speedway. So when it hits the fan, he's your man, and whatever you eat, he's got your seat. They have a 1-800 number, and it's 1-800-521-2014. So whatever you need, give Mr. Bob a call, and he'll help you out. They are official sponsor of Wide Open Wednesday right here on Wednesday nights from 6 to 7 p.m. Mr. Bob, he's on the job, and you should be too. Who is all the rage? Sage Chiropractic. That's right, Sage is all the rage in chiropractic care. Dr. Carey and Dr. Mike will take care of you and all your back needs, and they specialize in other things too. Give them a call, 215-497-0700. They have all the equipment, all the stuff you need to get yourself in shape. They're the people that give Fred his adjustment so he can drive his race car on Saturdays at New Egypt Speedway. They are our official sponsor of Wide Open Wednesday, so go see them. If you have any problems with your back or any other problems you think you're having that are related to your back, you got to go see Sage because they're all the rage in chiropractic care. So see Sage Chiropractic. Their phone number is 215-497-0700. Go see Dr. Carey and go see Dr. Mike.
All right, we are back like a heart attack. Anyhow, first and foremost, we appreciate all our sponsors and everything that they do for us. Without them, we couldn't do this. Andy Mull is on here. He said it's a Baker carburetor. And Andy Mull made us this beautiful
That's
sign for our deal here. If you need any kind of woodworking done, you got to get a hold of Andy Mull. If you need to get a hold of him, get a hold of me.
And we put it back here, Andy, because it kept falling off the front.
The cars kept knocking it off the
So
front. So
once
we put
we
it back
reorganize
there. Once
ours-
we reorganize, we'll
Yeah,
be
we'll-
fine. No, it's not Davy Brown. Jim Mitch, how are you, young man? But now we'll bring our second guest in. Now this is a pretty unique story. People like this. I kind of like this, and I don't care what they think. Oh, I shouldn't say that. I got to be nice. Fred, you should have slapped me for that. Get your slap
Oh,
out.
yeah, wait a minute. Well, I don't even know it. There we go.
Oh, thanks, Fred. Appreciate that.
A little slow, but
I'm a little slow to. All right, we'll
Huh.
put this up here for him. Man, she really makes him look good. Wow, look at that. All right, we'll bring
what are you
Christopher
talking
on here.
about?
There's a nice looking young lady standing next to Mr. Chris there.
Oh, okay. I can't
Okay.
see that.
Oh, you blind bastard. Here, I'll put it on. Now
That's
do you
my
see
wife,
her?
Nick.
She's beautiful.
I
Anyhow,
appreciate it.
boy, you got lucky. What'd she do? Lose a bet? What
Yeah,
the
I
hell?
outkicked my coverage on that one big time.
Now, wait a minute. I see. What's that behind you? A sprint car?
Yeah, oh yeah, getting going on one here.
Wow.
Putting it together to play on the few weekends with.
Hey, does the
close enough.
boss does the boss know you're doing that, Kyle Larson? Don't you got to sign a contract that you ain't allowed to do that?
No, I've kind of I dropped hints before I went and pulled the trigger on the thing to all the upper management and made sure it was okay before
Well,
I.
thanks for throwing Chris under the bus.
I'm sorry, Chris.
Yeah,
Chris
yeah,
Kopensky. He's making it for me. I'm going to drive it. He's not going to.
that's
drive
right.
it. Anyhow, I was told by somebody to call you Hoosier Man.
Oh yeah, your guest last week, I'm sure.
Yes, that would be Danny Buck. I got an
Yep,
instant message. Make sure you call him Hoosier Man. So,
Yeah,
all right,
me and Danny have a deep history.
all right. Now you got to tell me what that means. Why?
So, I mean, growing up, I always helped Will Dupree out at New Egypt. Like he was a good family friend with ours. And man, when Dan was starting out, Will was starting out, they didn't see eye to eye on the racetrack. And then I went out to college in Ohio, UNOH, and lo and behold, me and Danny were going to school at the same time. And kind of one night at a garage party, a bunch of racers sitting around, and me and Danny start chatting it up, and lo and behold, become pretty damn good friends. Like him and I talk all the time. And one of the guys I'd do anything for, love him to death at this point, and my wife went to college together, or he lived close to where my wife went to college. So I was always either at his dad's shop or he was over at my wife's school. And we would always hang out. So me and Danny have become really good friends. That's
cool. Now let's tell the fans and the people that are listening your journey from doing the local dirt track stuff and North Jersey stuff and hanging out with Will, because Will's one of my favorite guys too. He's very down to earth, very cool guy. Go out of his way for anybody, but don't piss him off, because if you get his temper riled up, he'll throw some hands if he has to, but he tries not to do that. I like Will a lot. Same way with Danny. I had Danny on here last week, and he reminds me so much of my brother John that, racing's racing, but if you do something stupid, you're getting it back, and it doesn't matter who you are. But tell everybody your journey from where you started, Chris, to where you are now.
So, man, I don't really come from a huge racing background. Growing up, my mom and dad have a dairy farm in central New Jersey, and Artie Wilmot used to keep his modified across the street at my neighbor's house. And our families were always really good friends. And when I was young, 3-4 years old, my dad would have to go across the street and fire Artie's car up so I could fall asleep as a kid. Like that's crazy. Triggered my racing. The farming thing was never my speed. So I raced go-karts in our county 4-H club. And then we bought a cart and went up to Snydersville and did that for a little while. And then I was like, man, I want to keep doing this. Right. So we bought a micro sprint. It wasn't all that great. And then, growing up, the people you are around, you don't think about them being your heroes until you get older, I think. We bought a car from Newt Hartman, and Newt, Jeff, and Jay were just racers, right? Like, it's just people that you raced with. Right. And now you look back on it like, man, those are the three of the best guys that have ever done modifieds and micro sprints and speedsters.
Right.
Like, it's crazy. So I did that until I turned 17. I graduated high school. I went out to UNOH in Ohio for college because I was like, I want to keep doing this motorsports thing, whether it's working on them or driving them or whatever, right? So they have a pretty unique program out there where the students have a motorsports team. And I went out there and applied to be on the motorsports team and tried out to be a driver. So the way they do it is like your first year on the team. If you want to drive, like not everybody drives. If you want to drive, they put you in a street stock and kind of see how you stack up on a Friday night at Limaland. And if they think you're good enough, the next year you'll be on tryouts to run a modified. The second year and the third year, and we would go to Volusia and we'd go to Eldora, places that I personally would have never dreamed about racing, right? I did that for 3 seasons and then graduated, moved back home. My wife and I started dating, so I was trying to get my footing and figure out what I was going to do. And it was like the middle of the winter. I was working at Belmead Garage in Belmead, and got some snow down my back working on a Jeep. And I was like, man, I didn't come this far to just get this far, right? So a family friend works at Roush Yates, and I was like, hey, if I get you a resume, can you kind of like see where it'll go? Like if it doesn't come out to be anything, I try, right? Just one. Right. So sent it down there, didn't hear anything for a couple of weeks, and I got a phone call randomly on a Monday. It was like, hey, this is so-and-so from Roush Yates Engines. We'd like to set up a interview with you. And I was like, okay, Wednesday works. Wednesday afternoon works. Had a Skype interview Wednesday, and Friday I packed all my stuff and moved to North Carolina, and then started there. Was at Roush Yates for 6 years, did some teardown stuff, sub-assembly stuff, and then was in the dyno for the majority of my time, and was traveling here and there, to a couple cup races, helping to change valve springs when we were doing that more often. And then in end of 2018, Doug Yates came to me and was like, hey, we don't want to see you go, but there's an opportunity at Penske for an Xfinity tuner. They need a guy. It'd be really good to have somebody that we trust over there. Would you be interested? And he's like, I don't want to see you go, but I'm not going to hold you back from a great opportunity. So awesome. I kind of went down to Homestead in 2018 and changed springs on the 22 car with their engine tuner. They wind up winning the championship, and 3 months later, I'm working at Penske.
That's awesome.
On the 12 Xfinity car. Then 2020, there was a spot on Blaney's car that opened up. They asked me to come be an engine tuner on that, and I did that for 4 races until COVID completely shut everything down. And then 2021 was Austin Cindric's rookie year, so he was able to race 8 races, and I tuned on that car, and I've been with Austin ever since. So the 33 car that he ran for the 8 races, and then I've been on the 2 car 2022 till now.
So, did you see what Kyle wrote?
Now yeah. Yep. Their carburetor guy, Ron, he did a carburetor for me a while ago on a late model, and me and Belmont joke all the time about that. That carburetor will pull the basement through the attic.
That's crazy.
So
I got to wear Kyle's 500 ring because he came home to see the family. I mean, he's like my nephew.
Yeah.
But you got to try to describe the feeling of winning the Daytona 500 and going through that process and being there and being a part of a car that wins the Daytona 500. For the people that are listening, that's got to be that's crazy.
For me, I think the crazy thing is up until I think winning that race kind of says to yourself, okay, you've made it, but just walking in the gates there, I'd never imagined a small town kid from Somerset, New Jersey, a place where nobody's ever really heard of, right?
Right. Yep.
Would ever even be at the Daytona 500, let alone win the damn thing.
Right.
And the celebration, everybody says the party never ends. It doesn't. We stayed up that entire night, got to the plane the next morning. There's a champions breakfast the next morning, got to the plane. And that was the first time I fell asleep from the beginning of Sunday to Monday night.
That's crazy.
It still doesn't wear off.
I mean, I was a big Dale Earnhardt fan. And how many people still go to Daytona and they go over and they just stare at where that happened. And I mean, I got to be honest with you. I'm 63 years old. And, the last couple of times I went to Daytona, I went to that area and I cried because he was NASCAR as far as I'm concerned.
Right.
And it's changed a whole hell of a lot. It's a lot different for you guys that live down south. Nobody knows what you guys have to do to make them cars do what they're doing. And Mark Martin is a big critic of what's going on, but I think, hopefully they're headed in the right direction and things are going to get better, and they got to put some people in the stands. They know that. They know what they got to do. I mean, they got a bunch of youngsters that are really, really good drivers. I mean, that kid 3 in a row, that's crazy. You
That's
know what I
pretty
mean?
impressive.
And he's such a nice kid, and he went through such a hard time. And I just feel like God rewarded him, you
Right.
know, and showed him it can be done. And Michael Jordan, I mean, they struggled, you know what I mean? So now everybody gets their turn. And I just hope, you know, you're doing what you're doing. It's pretty cool to have you on here. And then I have Kyle on here. And you guys mix with us. You come to the dirt track and you have fun with us. And I know Kyle does the shock thing with a lot of different people. He helped my nephew Zach, and yeah, my nephew Zach's down there too, but he's not down there doing what you're doing. He's down there working in warehouses and stuff. But yeah, I mean, I'm proud of you, Chris. I'm proud of Kyle. I'm proud of his brother Brett, who looks like the quarterback for the Seahawks, and then now his brother Andrew is down there working for Childress. So
Right.
yeah, and Fred's waiting in the wings. As soon as he gets tired of what's going on here, he's going to be going down south too. But we really appreciate you coming on the show and sharing your story. And next time, because I'm pretty sure New Egypt's going to open back up, but
Okay.
next time you get down here, you come see me, and we'll give you the grand tour on the golf cart.
Perfect. Well, chances are I'll probably be in Will's Pit at some point. I was there one night last year, you know, and it was, the stands were a little lackluster, but man, that place is near and dear to my heart. Like that's where I grew up there, East Windsor. Like, you know, the crazy thing is like Jeff Bokout, who Nick, I know we're great friends with Jeff, right? My mom and dad were good friends with him, and Jeff would come down here and visit me, and my in-laws live right next to Keith Brightbill. Like, it's just it's a tight-knit community. Everybody needs to come together and try and see what we can do to somehow get New Egypt holds a special place in so many people's hearts.
Oh,
we all need to come together and try and do something.
And the guy's heart that it should hold a special spot in it just doesn't seem like it. I mean, I know he cares, and I know he wants to keep it a racetrack, but he keeps bringing up the same question. Why don't they support me? Why? Because, and I try to tell him, because you're not there shaking the hands and kissing the babies. You got to be there. People got to see you. You got to be accessible. And I think that's the biggest problem people have. They think because he's not accessible and he's not shaking the hands and kissing the babies, they think he doesn't care about us. Right. And, you know, he's done a lot of things for a lot of people. And see, they gave me a chrome pig. This is how popular I am. I get a chrome pig, and from Scott and Donna. So, but no, we appreciate you being on the show. Open door policy. You can come on here anytime you want. And don't forget, you gotta go on when you're in the pits and on the hot pit. You gotta make me my clip so we can play it on the show. And
I'll get you one.
All right, cool. Thanks for coming on. I appreciate it,
sir.
Chris. Thank you.
Thanks,
all right,
guys.
who's your man?
Yes, sir.
All right, brother. Thanks, Chris.
Have fun. Thanks,
we'll
guys.
Talk to you. Yep. Chris, we appreciate him coming on. Definitely cool. We're going to do a couple more commercials.
And then we'll come back and we'll talk about the carburetor.
We
got a couple other things.
And we got a couple other things Fred wants to talk about that's near and dear to his heart. So we'll do what we got to do for our sponsors here.
You got wheels that's seen better days. Don't replace them, revive them. That's right. Vibrant powder coating and wheel repair. Bent rims, scuffs, no problem. Vibrant makes them smooth and strong and stunning again. From the street to the strip, they'll make your ride shine like new custom colors, flawless finishes, and durable coatings that turn heads and handle heat. Give them a call today at 1-267-566-6842. They're located at 569 Unionville Avenue, Pendle, PA 19047. That's Vibrant Finish. For all you need in powder coating and wheel repair, they make your ride look sweet. So give them a call. Race teams, listen up. If you want your media dialed in this season, you need to call Amanda's Content Creations at 856-418-4709. Amanda handles everything. Weekly updates, sponsorship proposals, race day posts, highlight videos, schedules, everything you need to put your race team right where it needs to be. Whatever you need to keep your team looking sharp, connected with your fans and everybody else. Amanda has you covered. She works with the drivers all over and delivers top quality content every time. So if your race team needs media done right, get in touch with Amanda's Content Creations. That's right, Amanda Tinnis. The number's 856-418-4709. Up next, we have Fletcher's Garage. That's right, the main sponsor of Wide Open Wednesday. and they are located at 480 Hood Boulevard in Fairless Hills. Their phone number is 215-295-4931, and their motto is, if they can't fix it, it's broke. It's home of America's mechanic, Fred Fletcher, and he also does Need for Speed on WBCB on Thursday mornings. So keep an eye out for Mr. Fletcher, America's mechanic. Also, we have reliable consulting, sales, training, and marketing brought to you by Chris Bennett. His phone number is 215-206-9053. We thank all our sponsors for participating on Wide Open Wednesday. Let's talk about one of our proud sponsors, and that's Five Peaks Media, brought to you by Craig McGill, 668 Woodburn Road, Langhorne, Pennsylvania, Suite 201, the same suite that Wide Open Wednesday is in, and their phone number 609-577-7996. Craig McGill, we call him Magic because he creates the magic behind the Wednesday. Whatever you need, whether it's for social media, your business, anything you need. He's been with CBS, the NFL. He's done it all. He's a master at his trade, and he can definitely get the job done if you need anything done in social media. Why is having a director important? Greg will tell you why, because he does his best work behind the lens. Do you want your message out there to the world? You got to go with Five Peaks Media. That's right. Get a hold of Craig McGill. Come on over and see us. This is why we do what we do, because we have magic.
Yo, we are back live on Wide Open Wednesday. Took care of our sponsors. Yeah, Fred, the carburetor.
Let's put this out here.
Marty Burke and his lovely wife
Sorry,
are
Flex.
listening.
Yep, Marty. Thank you, Marty. Yeah, he was checking on the pig.
Yes,
Pig is good.
The pig is good.
Here, you hold the pig.
I'll hold the pig.
Yeah, thank
I
you,
hang
to
out with
Marty,
pigs
Marty
most
and
of the time.
Aaron, and Scott and Donna. But this carburetor here, it's an old Holly. It was built, like I said, by the leading man in all of racing, especially around here and dirt racing. So I do want to congratulate, since we eliminated Mike Cesare because he had inside information because he used to work for my father. So he knew where this was laying from, where this came from, where this was.
He cheated.
So he knew. No, he just knew. So, but we do want to give it to Matt Roser. We want to give him the credit because
Yeah, Matt knew who it was.
this was built by Frankie Schneider.
Yup.
And when Kerry was having a problem with his carburetor, and my dad was trying to figure it out, and Frankie's like, "Here, just take this, put this on your car," and they bolted it up, and Kerry came back in, and he's like, I could swear I just put another motor in this car because this thing is just so badass. I mean, he had a hard time keeping it on the track. So, but Dad kept this carburetor around for a long time, and well, still now. So, but this meant a lot to my dad. So now it means a lot to me because it meant a lot to my dad. And I'm a carburetor guy. I built a lot of my own carburetors. I'm one of the only guys around that's left that's building carburetors. We have a couple guys in the area, but usually people check with me. I built a couple carburetors back in the day for Lenny Martin, Jimmy Martin, when Jimmy had the late models.
One with the street stock with your carburetor on there.
Yeah, that was my
Windsor,
carburetor. And I remember Jimmy coming in saying, "Holy shit, what the hell did you do to this carburetor?"
Don't worry about it. Just drive.
Just drive it, Jimmy. You'll be all right. So, yeah, I had a lot of fun. I still have a lot of fun building carburetors. I'm actually teaching my new guy how to build carburetors. He was interested in it, and he saw my race car. He's only 21. I just hired him.
That's good.
Yeah, hired him about a month ago, and he's
That's
into
good.
racing. So I'm gonna
Well, there you have
I'm
it.
gonna drag him into racing. He's gonna help me put the transmission back in my car this weekend, so we can get ready for
All right.
when
Well,
the season
Matt,
comes up.
Matt won 2 Wide Open Wednesday decals for guessing the right answer.
And a
on the
Manhattan.
carburetor. And
I'm
a
making-
Manhattan if you want a Manhattan, Matt.
And I also want to thank Matt because he dropped me off of Willie Osmond, the nose piece that got wrecked up. I'm straightening it out. I'm going to put it on my wall with all my other racing memorabilia. So thank you, Matt, for that. And but yeah, this carburetor's been hanging around for 50 years, because it was probably late 70s when Frankie gave this to my dad to put on. My dad said Frankie used to have his carburetor and had a garden hose as an inlet. So that's
We love the pig, Donna. We love the pig.
The pig is rule. The pig
Yep.
rules.
Yep.
The pig rules.
Yep.
But yeah. So that's the story of the carburetor, and so we'll move on.
Yeah, we'll move on. And we're probably going to go over a little bit here, Fred. Are we
Yeah, a
allowed to
little
do
bit
that?
of time.
All right, we're all right. All right, we're going to bring this guy on here. Let me get his banner. Da, 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 da. And it's time for This Week in Racing History with none other than the voice of Maple Grove, Billy Kleinsman. Billy, what's going on?
Hi guys, how are you? As you know, our weather around this area has been extremely bipolar. As you guys know, it was in the 70s and 80s last week, at the beginning of last week. In case you guys were wondering, I did get sunburn, so my sunblock, I need to go get on that. But now we're back in winter degree weather, and I'm actually wearing a hoodie and a jacket. It's a shame that there's not a green screen behind me, because you guys could probably put me in a little igloo with me drinking some hot
Now-
I
chocolate.
know. We
Now-
still got the clip of the snowplow, Bill. Don't worry. We're saving that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the weather's just polar now, not bipolar.
Yes.
And in case you guys were wondering, my alien friends are back.
I see that, Bill.
See, man.
I see that. So, what do we got for this week? This week in racing history, Bill. What do we got?
So this week, I'm actually going to change things up a little bit. As you guys know, it is Women's History Month, and with all the great women that have come and gone in our sport and racing, it would be I would be remiss if I didn't honor some of the ladies that we've had that have earned their place in racing history. As you know, you have Janet Guthrie, the first woman to qualify for both the Daytona and the Indy 500. Naturally, you have Danica Patrick, the first woman to lead both the Daytona 500 and the Indy 500. But then
Amen.
also you have a lot of great women that have been a part of this show.
Yes.
Katie, of course, and Abigail from Hometown Homies, and also Peyton as well. So I have to give a shout out to those three ladies if they happen to be watching. But also in drag racing, there's so many great women that have come along the way. You know, when you think of drag racing and women in drag racing, you think of Shirley Muldowney,
My
Erica Ender.
girlfriend.
That's Fred's girlfriend, Bill.
And I
Yep.
must say, you guys will probably agree, when it comes to racing, our fraternity is really slow. It's small. It's very rare for a racer or somebody in the racing industry to go out of the boundaries of our sport and become a pop culture legend. Shirley Muldowney is definitely one of those, along with Janet Guthrie. You have Erica Enders. Naturally, you have the Forrest sisters. They've all made history as well. And my dear friend Kelly Kondratic, a couple weeks ago at the Gator Nationals in Super Comp, she just scored her first national event win, which also happened to be the 400th national event win for a female in the NHRA.
I'm trying to get her on the show, Bill.
Oh,
I'm trying to get Kelly to come on here.
all right. I'm looking. If she does come on, I'm looking forward to be having her.
You'll be on here with her if I get her to come on.
All right.
Yep.
So I figured let's give a little shout out to all the women. There's so many other women that are involved in racing, because when racing first started, as you know, it was mainly just a men's sport. But then once the women started coming in, you guys might have to beep this part out. But as you guys know, when women get into racing, they kick the guys' asses. And
Oh yeah.
now we have women. Not only do you have women drivers, you have women business leaders, officials.
Yep.
All women have basically covered all the grounds of motorsports, whether it's a driver behind the scenes in the business side. Kelly Earnhardt, that name comes to mind when you think of great business women in the sport of racing. And there's just so many great women out there that need the recognition that they deserve. And with it being Women's History Month, I figured why not do a little spotlight on some
absolutely. Well, I'm a big Jasmine Salinas fan. I love her. And then this Gordon girl that's running the Top Fueler now. Wow,
Oh, yeah.
she's a sweetheart.
Oh yeah, Maddie Gordon. You guys probably do not know this, but for those out there that don't know, she was the 100th different woman to win a national event. She did that in Top Alcohol Funny Car a few years ago.
Mm-hmm.
And just to show you how far we've come from the 60s, in 66, when the Dragon lady, Shirley Shahan, she was the first woman to win a national event, all the way up to a couple weeks ago when we scored the 400th national event win for a woman in drag racing. That just goes to show you, women, if you're listening out there, if you put your mind to it, you can accomplish whatever you dream of.
Yeah.
I'm trying to chase down Ida Zetterstrom.
Just, just remember this, guys. Behind every man is a good woman. Behind every woman is a good behind. Remember that.
Mm-hmm.
Billy, well, we appreciate you. You're giving us knowledge that I wouldn't know. He might know some of this stuff, but I don't know much.
Only with the women.
And we have a special thing that our boss was involved in. Billy's saving that for later, but
Yep.
Billy knows what I'm talking about. But Billy, get yourself up, stay warm, stay out of trouble, stay away from the snow plows.
Yep, will do, guys. And for those of you that are listening and don't have anything else to do on Sunday, be sure to come on out to Maple Grove Raceway for our first test and tune of the season. And we look forward to seeing everybody this weekend at Maple Grove as we officially kick off the 2026 season at Maple Grove Raceway.
You got
All
it,
right, Bill.
All right, Billy. Thank you, brother. Have a good night. And how's Dad doing, Bill? I keep forgetting to ask you every time you're on here.
Dad's doing pretty good. He was currently at the VA hospital in Lebanon. Right around Thanksgiving time, he did have a little bit of a setback, but he is getting better. Unfortunately, because of his age and the injury that he sustained, his memory is starting to go, and it's not going to get any better. Unfortunately, we have to put him in a home, but at least the good thing is I still have my dad. And
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
if I can just say anything positive, with everything that's happened, if something is thrown at you and you don't know why, there's always a reason for it, and it's always God's way of saying, if you can handle this, you can handle anything.
Absolutely, Bill. All right, brother.
All right,
He's in
Bill.
our prayers, and we'll talk to you next week. Bill, stay out of trouble.
Will do, guys, and I'll see you all next week.
You got it.
All righty.
He's getting that frog in his throat again.
There you
Well, let's bring this guy on here. He's like the master of all trades here. Where's he at? He's over here. I'm over here now. Ladies and gentlemen, Mike Feltenberger. Mike, what's going on, Mike? This weather is crazy.
It's amazing how the weather's just literally changed everything. We were supposed to have the Outlaw Enduro Series at Grandview, but I guess when they went to turn the water on for the racetrack, the pipes were still frozen underground, so there was no enduros at Grandview this week. But down at the Pagoda Motorcycle Club on Saturday, they're going to have, it's called Opening Day at the Reading Fairgrounds. A couple of drivers are going to be there. There's going to have vendors there selling photos and stuff like that. But that's on Saturday. I guess right now, I think it's 11 drivers are planning on being there. So Kenny Brightwell is supposed to be one of them, Kurt Weller and a couple others. Bobby Braxton might make it depending on what happens with Lincoln and everything. But and then Sunday, there's actual racing at the Speedway at Pagoda Motorcycle Club. They're having the Slingshots, the 600 micros, and the Speedsters.
Now, I forgot to do this at the beginning of the show. There was a terrible incident in the sprint car race, and one of the officials lost his life. I want to send some prayers out to him and his family and all the people involved. People get on the internet and they start making speculation when they're sitting, 5,000 miles away from where it happened, and they're watching it on TV. Guys, our sport becomes very popular when a freak accident like this happens, and all of a sudden we're on every local news channel and this and that and the
for
other.
wrong reasons.
For all the wrong reasons. And just say prayers for the families, say prayers for the people in the sport. It's something that the sport doesn't need. It doesn't need something like that to happen. Trust me, the guy that lost his life done what he done a million times and never had a problem. I get in a truck a million times. Tomorrow I could get in that truck and something definitely different could happen, and I may not be here. Nobody's guaranteed tomorrow, and just because of the way that somebody's taken out or something happened, but I can guarantee you this, and knowing Warren Olson like I know Warren, I can guarantee you this: there will be so many safety measures taken to make it better. Look what happened after what happened to Dale Earnhardt. Racing is so much more safer. Is it going to be perfect? No. There's going to be a freak accident, Mike, in our kind of racing, in their kind of racing. But when it's your turn, you're going. It doesn't matter what you're doing. You could be sitting in church. When it's your turn, you're going. All we can do is take the measures to make it safer, and I'm sure that's what they're going to do. So to that gentleman, his family, to all the people involved, High Limit, all them people, our prayers are going out to you guys. We're all one big family, so let's just pray together and hope everything works out. Meanwhile, Mike, how's things going at the flea market?
I did pretty good today. I have these 11 by 17 posters drawn by Troy Seidel, and made well, I guess Fred got one of the Jimmy Hortons, but
Right in his
I
shop.
sold a
That was
couple of them. And he has, I think it's eight.
While I got you, Mike, you know what I need? I need a Frankie
What's
Snyder
that?
one. I need a Frankie Snyder picture, the best one you got, because I'm going to put this in my waiting room, and I'm going to put the Frankie Snyder.
I'm going to put it in a glass box with this. This is an original Frankie Snyder button. Original,
yep.
That's an original Frankie Snyder button. Somebody gave it to me, and I gave it to Fred because I knew he had the carburetor. That's wild.
Right there. If you got any pictures, because I don't. If you have,
I do.
like
Cooper Coach.
Coop.
Okay.
Either one.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm fine with either.
Yeah, my Racing Photo Memory Makers episode 100. I did all Victory Lane pictures, so the people actually see what the drivers look like. So that was something different because
he looked like Mr. Magoo. He had no hair. And he was bald.
Well, I see Frankie the third.
He was the master, man. Yeah. He was the master.
But
when you said when you said the greatest, I was thinking along the lines of a mechanic. So I put Davy Brown in there.
Right.
So
I saw that. Yep. All right, Mike, give a plug for your stuff. That way people know where to go to see all the stuff that you got.
Okay, YouTube, Racing Photo Memory Makers. I do a 3-minute slideshow, 30 pictures of various races. Episode 100 was all Victory Lanes. Also on YouTube, BCTV Strapped In, my TV show, celebrating its 25th year. I did a Grandview preview show with 2-time Sportsman winner last year, including the Firecracker 40, Joey Vaccaro. That's also on YouTube. So, and I'm going to be down at the Pagoda this weekend with pictures and posters and calendars and everything. So that's where I'll be heading this weekend. And I'm also at the Leesport Market on Wednesdays.
Awesome.
All right, Bear needs some wide open Wednesday and Fletcher merchandise. Not a problem, Bear. We got you
covered, buddy.
We got you covered, my friend. And Bear, he's got his 3D printer working. Probably.
Yeah.
See, I still got my phone holder, Racing Seat phone holder, thanks to Bear. And we got our lowdown entertainment shirts. So guys.
Oh, by the way, Nick, I won the modified race at Tom Heaster's HO Raceway driving the Johnny Leach 99.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Don't get any better than that. Don't get any better than that, Mike. That's cool.
Well, have a good night, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thanks, Mike. Thanks for coming on. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Fred, you're not going to make an announcement till next week, correct?
With WBCB?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I am going to be on tomorrow. Probably will be my last show. I thought last week was going to be my last show, but they talked me into doing at least one more. So I'll be on tomorrow from 9 to 9:30 for the America's Mechanic and Under the Hood. And then from 9:30 to 10 o'clock for Need for Speed. And we'll touch on what we talked about tonight, because tonight was a fantastic show.
Oh, absolutely.
So I want to carry that.
You sounded like Donald Trump when you said that tonight was a
fantastic show. Show was fantastic. But
I got to thank RPM, Racing's Preferred Models. That model there is one of the very first ones that he done. And that's one of Jeff Strunk's cars. That was when he drove for Chad Sinnen. The rest of them back here were all donated to us from RPM, Racers Preferred Models.
Can't forget the Flying Pig.
And the Flying Pig. Can't forget the pig that was given to me by Scott and Donna.
When Earl gets back, we'll get together. We're going to get ready for the time capsule. We'll meet at the Flying Pig. So everybody keep in touch. Maybe we'll all get to the Flying Pig.
Yeah. 9 to 9:30, America's Mechanic. 9:30 to 10, Need for Speed. Yeah, I saw it. Rob T, you need to call me because I have some information that you need, my friend. You need to call me. I talked to somebody that you probably already talked to, but I got a little information for you. Rob T's got a beautiful race car. His race car is so beautiful, somebody copied it.
It did. That was great.
I told Mr. Herthler, I said, if you weren't so damn good, they wouldn't copy your stuff. So let's see. Marty Burke. Marty, I told Fred this already. I said, when Marty gets a hold of them, they're going to wish that they shut the radio station down. So I haven't been listening either, Marty. It's a totally changed deal, and it's boring. It's boring
well,
as hell.
I've been getting calls from my customers for Fletcher's Garage and for this, and they're like, "Who wants to listen to an audio book in them?"
Yeah,
they want some old music.
I know more about Sherlock Holmes than I ever did even going to school.
I can't believe you listened that long.
Oh my God, I'm like, what, do I get the wrong channel here? I'm like, wait a minute.
So, but yeah, I think they're going to regret the day that they turned that off and turned their back on the community in Bucks County, Mercer County. So and I'm one of them. They turn their
Yeah.
I'm not going to say they turn their back on me because they've been very good to me for
20
something.
They didn't turn their back on you. The other
The
people
new
did.
company did.
Yes.
When Pat Dion and Merrill Reese owned it, they're friends of mine. We took care of each other. So
Yes, Chad, you should remember that car. It was yours.
but yeah, so I'll be on tomorrow. So if you want to listen, me and Joe LeCompte will be on because Foxwell's not there anymore.
That's
so
terrible.
I'll be there to insult some people.
That's like
So,
not having Earl Krause at Wall Stadium.
I'm telling
Are you kidding me?
I'm telling
But I like Joe LeCompte. Joe's a good
Joe's
guy.
good.
So.
Yeah.
So don't forget 9 to 9:30, America's Mechanic, and from 9:30 to 10, it's Need for Speed. And Need for Speed, well, American Mechanic is definitely not going to go away. We're going to work out something. We're going to do something.
Yeah, we're actually planning on doing some stuff here and doing some stuff on Spotify. We're probably doing from my shop, which is actually probably even better to do. From my shop because then I can get my guys in there, which is like a comedy in itself.
Oh, yeah. It's like the Three Stooges over there. Yep.
Well, I'm not going to say stooges, but
No,
it's
do a
very
good job.
interesting.
It's very interesting. It would
a lot
have to
of fun.
be a non-child show.
Yeah,
Definitely in a PG rated show. But no, thanks guys for tuning in. Thank all of our sponsors. We couldn't do it without you, Marty. And thanks
I'll have
for
your
tuning
drink,
in.
Matt.
Have your drink, Matt.
I'll bring you one.
And Fred has decals at the shop, so come pick up your decals over there. And we appreciate what everybody does for us because we couldn't do it without you. Jeff Strunk, thank you for coming on. Our other guy that came, what a story he had, the NASCAR deal.
Chris Pusker.
Chris Puskas. And I know I butchered that name, and I'm sorry, Chris, but
Chris Puskas.
Puskas, thanks for coming on. So, we miss you too, Marty. And hopefully next week, Marty, we'll get to see one another. So until then, as Kyle Koretsky would say, I'm out.
Yep.